you was born and raised East Chicago, so you had a great opportunity to be around a lot of great athletes. In 1970, you was the water boy for East Chicago Roosevelt, correct?
Yeah, correct. That was a phenomenal basketball team. Uh, there was a gentleman by the name of Jim Bradley, 6'9", ended up playing at Northern Illinois. Had a kind of shortened pro career, but I mean, here's a guy that had, a great smile on his face all the time. He's just a great guy. On that team, Kavanaugh Gary, John Davis, the Bradford brothers, Tim Rossi. That was just a team that was loaded. It was a lot of fun to follow down the state, man. And especially playing in Washington's gym. People don't realize, gyms used to get sold out in those days. There'd be a paper sign on the door that said sold out. If you didn't have a ticket for a sectional championship or a sectional semifinal, you had to go outside and scalp one. Wow. People don't realize that in this day and age.
Wow. Now I see on your wall up here, we'll get a quick picture of it. You have the 1971 East Chicago Washington team. Give us some feedback on that ball club.
That was another great team. We followed that team all over the state. Pete Durgovich, if you look at him, he's got sanitaries on, he's got triple wristbands on. He was the Pete Maravich of Northwest Indiana basketball. The guy next to him, number 43, Tim Stoddard, played at North Carolina State on a national championship team and pitched for the Cubs and the Orioles. The guy right next to him, Williams, was actually a starter and broke his wrist before the season started. That's how Pete ended up starting. And the guy next to him needs really no name. It's Junior Bridgman, probably one of the best NBA six-man in all of basketball.
Yes. So, if you had to compare teams, 1970 Roosevelt against the 1971 Washington.
You're going to get me in trouble here, aren't you?
What team will win?
I think that the Washington team was probably a little more balanced. That's probably as far as I go on. A lot of people know me, and I don't want to be going around going, "Hey, what did you say? What you said they're better than us?" Blah blah blah. I think they're both great basketball teams. They were a lot of fun to watch. I think East Chicago Washington scored over 100 points in 9 games. Now they didn't have a 3-point shot back then.
Wow.
I mean, that's an amazing feat on itself. 9 games over 100 points. I don't care who you play. When you score 100 points, man, that's a lot of points you throw up on the board.
So you got 1970 Roosevelt, 1971 Washington, 1-game championship. What is the final score?
I'm gonna make it triple overtime, and nobody wins.
Okay. On your wall here, you have a lot of amazing athletes, a lot of people that you're connected to through your Zone Fitness business. Give us a little insight on what exactly Zone Fitness is.
You know what? Zone Fitness is a fitness center, but what I do here again is I train some of the top high school and college athletes. Just pan around it on the table here. You got Joe Wolf, who just signed at Ohio State last year. Kevin Breens, Adam Norton, Bobby Morris, his brother Hal played for the Cincinnati Reds. A lot of great athletes on the wall. I work with Chris Hunter and Brandon Cameron from Westside. A lot of great wrestlers. Andre Hernandez, Alex Sertzis. You could go on and on and on. With the kid from Munster, right here you'll see the picture there. 2 girls on the wall there. Julie Feingold swam at Iowa, Maggie Breens at Notre Dame, Bobby Wysocki, Notre Dame. Worked with the Maldonado brothers. This is a picture of Bobby, Chicago kid, right up here. If you look up a little higher, right there.
All right, yeah.
Bobby Joe Maldonado. Most of the guys off the regional team in East Chicago. I worked with Keon and Kyle Mitchell and James Braden. I remember you have to remember a name by the name of Udi Baker.
Oh yeah.
Carlton Baker.
Yes.
That was an amazing person all in itself too. But
yeah.
a lot of state championship kids. Mackenzie kid who played at Northern Illinois right here. A West Side grad. He was a 7-footer, never saw the floor on that state championship team. James Boyer played at IUPUI right here. If you look over a little bit, but Keon Jackson, a lot of those guys I work with, people don't really realize who they are.
Wow.
Kevin Franchetti, who signed at Ball State right down here. David Brandt, if you look straight ahead to you right there. plays at Marion College right now, but was at school in Wisconsin. I can't think of the name of it right now. But a lot of really, really good athletes. Eric McGill, which you see right here, two-time state champion from Munster.
Now you have a picture up here with some East Chicago Central players. Give us a little history on this.
Well, you got that's a great picture up there. That was back in the day. It's not too long ago. That was full court basketball on a football field. You had some great receivers, great running back. Jamie Stewart, who was started as a freshman, played all 4 years. Sam Daniels, who's in that picture. I think Kyan Gillis, and then last but not least, David Rodriguez, who probably has thrown the ball for more yards than any quarterback in the history of East Chicago football.
Yes.
So.
And also Aaron Spiller.
Aaron Spiller, another great player. Really, I don't know. His potential probably could have been a lot better. He had a few snags and a few cracks in the road, but Aaron was a great kid and a great athlete.
Wow. Okay. What kind of advice can you give to our current and future athletes on just ways to make better decisions and ways to get the most out of athletics?
Well, I think the best thing, the first thing that I could tell any student athlete is, your grades are the most important thing. It's so important. You don't realize till it's too late. Then you turn into a Prop 48 or whatever have you. And and again, like I said, I think that's the most important thing. And I think if I'm going to tell them and if I'm going to help them go to college, to go and get a degree in something where you can walk out and get a job. Okay? You don't want to go and get the basic business degree where you walk out and everybody's got a business degree. So now what do you have? You got a glorified high school education. Be a nurse. Be an accountant. Be a teacher. Be something where you walk out and get a job. Don't go and get a glorified high school education. Those are the most important things. Early on in your career, I think it's very important, to take your SAT and ACT, your freshman and sophomore year, just to see where you can improve upon. And if you need to get help, you can get help. There's help out there. It's available. Those are some of the key things right there. But that's the first thing, and how to communicate with college coaches and what you're dealing with. You have to explain your season. You have to explain how you did. There's a way to do that. You got 5 or 6 coaches standing in front of you, your defensive coordinator, your offensive coordinator, your position coach. It's important to be able to explain how your season went. That's going to be the big key right there. And you know what? It's a job interview. You're going on a job interview, basically. And I don't know if most kids realize that.
Gotcha. What is one motto that Coach Ron lives by?
Whenever I get pissed off, I took the motto from John Wooden, believe it or not. When I get really pissed off, it's not a cuss word. It's goodness gracious sakes alive. And John Wooden, in talking to former players and whatever have you, they knew that he was pissed beyond belief when he said goodness gracious sakes alive. So that's. But I have other sayings. DSR, do shit right. There are a lot of things that I try and get across to young kids and motivate them to play at the next level. But I think a lot of coaches out there too. Same thing is, you may play 4 years for a coach and been in the trenches, with a high school coach for 4 years, and they forget who you are. Wow. The whole goal in coaching staff is to try and get that kid an opportunity to play at the next level. And I don't think some coaches do that. And you see I have multiple schools on my wall here: Munster, Highland, Griffith, Andrean, East Chicago, most of the Gary schools, most of these schools and players that I've worked with, I've helped them. I've given them important advice to move on to the next level, which I think it's important. Like, a kid plays for you 4 years in the trenches, and you're not going to help him. There's money in every school. I don't care if it's NAIA, Division III, 1AA, it doesn't matter. You're going to find some money somehow, some way. The kid wants to play at the next level. I don't care if he wasn't a great player, because some kids get earmarked at an early age, and then down the road, look at where they're at.
Gotcha.
So,
all right. Coach Ron, I want to thank you for this great interview and your great advice. It will definitely be used on the website to give these athletes help in their athletic futures. So I want to thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on Turkey Day.
All right. This is Athletes Lives Network exclusive interviews. Once an athlete, always an athlete. Thank you for watching Athletes Lives Network exclusive interviews. We will have more exciting interviews to come as we journey across the state of Indiana to look into the lives of former, present, and future athletes. You can follow us on our website at www.athletelives.com or follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/athletelives. Remember, once an athlete, always an athlete.